AITA for telling my BF I won't marry him if he keeps his friendship with my ex? So my BF Dylan and I have been dating for almost 5 years, and he proposed 9 months ago. We've known each other since high school. However, at the time we were only friends since I was dating my ex, Jason. Long story short, he cheated multiple times and we broke off. That's when I went to college, where I started dating Dylan. They only knew each other from high school but never had an actual friendship. Well, Dylan decided to host a party in order to celebrate our engagement, and one of his friends brought Jason. And surprise, surprise, they became friends. Now they text every day, go out on the weekends, or even have dinner together constantly. At first, I didn't think too much of it, but now I am uncomfortable. I talked about this with Dylan after he came back home from work. I established that his friendship with Jason is concerning to me and how he spends more time with him, but told me I was exaggerating. We kinda had an argument about how Jason cheated and lied to me for years, and how could he be okay with that? He said that people can change and that he didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. We didn't talk much after that, but then he apologized and told me he'll take me to dinner at my favorite restaurant the next day in order to compensate for the time we haven't had these weeks. I was really excited. I even went to get my hair done and bought a really pretty dress that afternoon. We'd see each other at the restaurant since he can't get out of work earlier. Well, an hour passed and there was no sign of him. I started to get worried and called him repeatedly. Then he arrived, looking terrible. He was drunk and even smelled like cigarettes. I asked him where he was at and tried to avoid the question. I asked him again and his guilty face told me everything. He was with Jason. I was livid and left the restaurant. We had an argument outside and he confessed that he'd promised Jason to go with him to visit this new bar at his house and didn't want to fail him. But I said it seemed he cared more about him than us, that he should get married to him if he is that important. He said he was the only one who understands him, not like me. I exploited and told him that if he doesn't cut him off then I won't marry him. He started crying and called me an for putting him in that position. Then he left. Now his mom and sister are calling me also the and manipulative of his life. I am at my sister's house, but I really don't know if what I did makes me the or not. Edit. Jason called me. He asked me if we could see each other to talk about something. He didn't disclose what it was, but he said it was important. I wasn't sure if I could actually write an update. I'm not fine. This has been so much, but you all pretty much wanted to know if I was okay, and thank you to those who sent supportive messages. I really appreciate IT.so for the update. We went to a coffee shop near my house and we talked. He said that he was sorry for what Dylan did and that if he had known Dylan had a plan with me already, he'd have canceled immediately because he cares for me, and that he was sorry for our past issues, that he has changed, and he's a better man now. I went straight to the point and asked him what he wanted. He continued by saying that he only was telling me this because he cares and wants me to be happy. The thing is that Dylan is gay, not bi, gay. Jason is known since high school because he cheated on me with Dylan. I knew Jason was a cheater because someone sent me pics of him kissing other girls, but I never saw him with a guy, so I didn't know he was bi. He said it was just a fling and cut contact with him after it and for a long time. Then Dylan reached out to invite him to a party, yes, our engagement party, where he cheated on me with Jason again. We didn't live together at the time, so when I thought he was in his house, he was actually banging him. Jason realized what they did was wrong, and that he didn't want me to be with an like Dylan. So he flirted with Dylan in order to make him leave me so I could find someone who can actually treat me the way I deserve. At first, he thought Dylan will do it, but little by little realized he won't let me go cause he is so afraid to tell the world he is gay. Jason threatened him that if he loved him he'd leave me. Dylan refused, so Jason pretended to lose interest in him. Dylan became obsessed and afraid he'd leave, so every time he could, he'd talk to him, see him, etc. But since he never confessed his true self, he decided to tell me, so I just don't waste more time with him. I couldn't hold my tears. I was so heartbroken I didn't realize Jason was hugging me. Continued saying that he was sorry, but I needed to know the truth and that if I ever need anything I can call him. I left and packed all my stuff from the house. I took everything and went back to my sister's. There's still no sign of Dylan. He hasn't even called or texted. Nothing, and I'm starting to believe what Jason said. It's actually true. I am feeling betrayed, lied to, and mad. I don't know what to do next, but at least I know the truth. Thank you for reading. Dylan never called me, so I decided to force him on telling me the truth. He was with a friend. That friend told me, so I visited him. He didn't want to talk to me, but I insisted. He started by saying he was sorry, he needed to clear his head and then we'll come back home. I told him it wasn't necessary. I didn't want to get married anymore. He was mad and started reclaiming me. I told him that I knew everything about Jason and him and how a coward he was for using me to hide his sexuality. He was crying, saying that it was BS, Jason's lying, that I want to belittle him. After a few minutes, gave up and implored me to not tell his family or anyone. I said I wouldn't do it, but still, I won't marry him. I gave him the ring, but he grabbed my hand. Told me how could I do this to him, that I want to hurt him, I owed him this. I asked him to let me go, he was hurting me, but he didn't. My friend had to pull us apart. Dylan was screaming and getting aggressive, saying that I should stop lying. I cheated on him with Jason and I wanted to blame him by saying he's gay when he isn't. My friend told him to get out and he did. After it, his fam called asking what I'd done to him, calling me a liar and a snake. Told them to talk to Dylan, and if they continue harassing me, I'd get the police involved. Jason also reached out, sent me flowers, and I threw them away. I told him to leave me alone and never contact me again if he didn't want me to get a restraining order. I haven't heard from them since that .dk how to go start fresh. We were supposed to get married on July 5th. Damn, I'm supposed to pick up my dress this weekend. My mom and sis told me they'll help me with it, but they'll need me because I paid for it, so I'm the only one who can cancel. Today, I cut my hair and cried on the way back. I'm crying while writing this too. It's been so much, and I feel like shit. So, I guess that's it. Sorry the post got long. In addition to cheating and lying about himself, he lied about you to cover his cheating and lying. He wants a woman to help him hide from his family. There are women who will do that, even on a temporary basis, but it's straight up emotional torture to go about it in deception with the woman from whom he's asking help. Then, to drag everyone else into abusing you. Wow. AITA for abandoning my family because my daughter protected my wife affair. I will keep this as short as possible, but basically I'm a 43M. I got my childhood sweetheart 43F pregnant and had my daughter 25F. She was considered a miracle child because the pregnancy was that difficult for my wife that she was never able to have kids again, which sucked, but it worked out perfectly in the end. My daughter was incredible. Now 2023 comes. My wife cheated on me with a friend of hers, which I discovered by signing into her Facebook. Invasion of privacy, I know, but curiosity struck. And I'm saying this out of pure hatred, but he was an ugly, but he had one thing, money. I immediately called my daughter and persuaded her to come to our house as it was urgent, and she was quite nervous, which was quite strange. But now looking back, I'm assuming my wife found out I knew about the affair somehow, some way, and told her. She arrives at our house and I confronted my wife and she didn't deny anything. Heartless in fact, and she scolded me for having no affection, lacking intimacy, and to be honest, she was right, but I was trying to achieve our goal, early retirement. My daughter could have kept quiet, but she scolded my wife for cheating and called her a W********, and while she isn't wrong, it caused my wife to expose her. My wife stated that she's had an affair since the pandemic ended and my daughter discovered, and AP gave her lots of money to keep her quiet. She tried apologizing, but it wasn't enough. I was heartbroken. My daughter meant everything to me and my wife, and they destroyed me. So I just left the house, waited for nightfall, ignored every phone call from my daughter, and came back, packed up my clothes, and left. I expected my wife to be home, but she went out probably to be with AP. AITA. I have also blocked my daughter and my wife as soon as I entered my motel. I don't want any association with them. So in the previous post, the comments mentioned that I should hear my daughter out, and while I was reluctant at first, I wanted closure. I wanted to understand why she betrayed me. I unblocked her contact and I messaged her and asked to meet her at Starbucks just to talk. She tried calling me, but I refused to answer. I just wanted to meet her potentially for the last time. Day later, we meet at Starbucks. She tried hugging me, but I refused, although I did want to initially. When we sat down, I went straight to business and asked why she protected her mom affair. She replied, I don't know, but I stated to her, you know why, but you refused to admit it, and she finally cracked. She admitted that when her mom met AP, she was struggling financially due to university, and when she discovered the affair, she was going to tell me, but AP told her to keep her mouth shut in exchange for money. With the money that AP gave, she was in a better situation financially and mentally, and at that point I got pissed. She treating him like some sort of saint, some sort of hero, so I broke down in Starbucks, in the public, and I asked her why she didn't ask me for help, and she was speechless. I then asked why you didn't take the money and still tell me. A comment mentioned that, and she finally stated that she doesn't know. She asked me if we could ever have a relationship, and I said not for a long time. I don't think I can ever trust you again. Before I left my house, I took a picture frame of me and my daughter when she was younger as a reminder of the good days, and I gave it back to her, and she started breaking down. So that's that. From everything that has unfolded, a famous quote from an old favorite game of mine has came true in my life: nothing is true, everything is permitted. One of my close friends from college had her bachelorette party this weekend, and it was really fun, or so I thought. We started Friday and had a bunch of activities yesterday, Saturday, and it ended with us going to a club and having a private table, and then everyone left today while we were at the club. Many guys were approaching us, and one of them was very attractive and seemed particularly interested in me, and I was talking to him a lot. I went to the bar to get a drink. I didn't like the bottle service the table had, and the guy was there, and I began talking to him again for a bit, and we exchanged numbers. My friend's MOH came to the bar after a while and just told me something like, "Hey, please don't take this the wrong way. He's cute and we really don't mind you talking to him, but bride just really wants to spend time with you this one night and you've been a little MIA." I responded telling her that we've literally spent every minute together since last night and we're at a club and that guys are gonna talk to us. She said, "I get it, girl, but we also just want you to be safe and for us all to stick together. I'm not saying not to talk to him, but just also try and spend time with bride since it's all our last night together." And I said okay and went back to the table with her. Around 2 a.m. the guy texted me and said he was heading out and told me he would love if I could have joined him if I wasn't at my friend's bach. I texted him back and told him that I'm pretty tired and that it's my last night anyway, so I'd love to see him. So I met up with him and stayed the night at his place, and early morning today went back to the Airbnb. Before I left though, I gave my friend and her MOH a heads up that I'm tired and I'm just gonna go stay with that guy, and instead of hyping me up or being excited for me, the MOH was like, "Girl, are you sure? We're just in a completely diff city and that could be unsafe. It's better if you just stick with us." But I told her I'd be fine and told my friend to enjoy the rest of her night and left. What her MOH problem was, but she sent me a text after everyone left to fly back home today, and this is what it said. "Hi. I think it'd be great if you could reach out to bride and clear the air about last night. She was crying when we got to the Airbnb and was worried for you, and also a bit hurt BC you were being distant. No one's upset about you talking to or flirting with guys, but it just hurt her because of how it came across. Sorting this before the wedding next weekend would be great. I'm sorry for being so forward, but after everything she's been through, I want her to have the best wedding week, and I hope you do too and understand where she's coming from." I was pissed and didn't respond yet. BC, why can't my friend just text me herself? But before I respond, I just want to know AITA? So long story short, there was some really dumb drama at my friend's bachelorette this past weekend. TLDR, I did everything to support my friend and was there for her the entire weekend, but the last night at the club I went home with this guy I was flirting with, and she and the MOH were all upset and dramatic about me leaving even though I spent the whole weekend with them and we were gonna go to bed anyways. Her annoying MOH sent me a text the next day saying I need to apologize to the bride, and I ignored her because it seemed so childish that the bride needs to talk to me through her MOH.so. The bride out of nowhere calls me this morning, and this is the TLDR of how the convo went. Her, "Hey, I heard MOH texted you and I didn't know she did that, but just wanted to clear the air with you before the wedding this weekend about what happened to me. Okay, what's up?" Her, "I just really wanted to spend time with you all this weekend, so I was a little hurt you left, but honestly I was mainly just upset cause I care about you so much and we were in a completely different city and I was so worried for you going home with some random person and not hearing anything from you till the morning. Me, yeah, but I'm a big girl, you know that. You and MOH were treating me like a child and I didn't want to deal with none of that. Her, well, that wasn't the intention and I'm really sorry if we did anything that made you feel that way, but it was just coming from a place of worry and care, and I just miss you cause I don't get to see you often since high school, so I really was just looking forward to spending time with you. I hope you get that I got pissed off and hung up and put her and the MOH in a group chat and sent this text. Hey, I just want to let you both know that just cause someone is getting married doesn't mean everyone else's lives need to be put on pause for them. I was trying to just ignore this drama for the sake of y'all, but since you guys want me so bad to have a conversation and say it like it is, then here we go. Bride, you need to get over yourself that no one is paying attention to you for 2 seconds. Like, congrats, you're getting married and I'm happy for you, but we're not in high school anymore for this type of brattiness. MOH, literally STFU, and stop playing messenger. BC, bride is too much of a $P$Y to do her own dirty work. I think it's best I don't come to the wedding this weekend cause I might end up socializing and I know that makes you both upset AF. I told one of my coworkers about this whole thing, and now I'm second guessing a bit if I was maybe too harsh in my delivery, because she told me I was valid in feeling how I felt and for what happened at the bachelorette, but that I probably shouldn't have sent that text. AITA or justified? How do you like these stories? Subscribe to the channel. I love you.